Hello, I'm going to go over this worksheet. Is light a wave or a particle? It's both. So light behaves in a very unusual way. In different experiments and under different conditions, we can see light acting like a wave or a particle. And when I'm talking about waves, what I mean is light will move out like an ocean wave. An ocean wave will go through a small point and then it will spread out. So for instance, light we can see in this experiment is being given off by the light source here, and it moves out, propagates out as a wave. But in this experiment, this is called the double slit experiment, and this is the wave version. It hits this wall, and there's two openings in this wall. So what does it do at this point? Well, once it hits these openings, it will have two waves move out, one from each opening. So like this, one here, here. And then the other set of waves will move out from here. And what we see, I can kind of finish that off. What we see is that there's some spots where the waves, the two waves now are interacting and overlapping. So there's spots here, here, here. You can see where they're overlapped, the two waves. Well, this creates a pattern on this screen right here. So if this is a screen and we look at it after the light has hit this screen and see what kind of a pattern, we get a pattern that looks like this, where the spots that were overlapped, this is where we see the highest amount of light intensity. And then moving out from that, there's less spots that overlap, and we see little gaps where we get that again. Not quite as intense. And then further out, even less so. And what this experiment is showing is how light travels like a wave. Okay. Another way that we want to think about it is light as a particle. So this one I'm going to say we're going to look at as a particle. A particle of light has a specific name. So it's one of these three up here. And what I want you to do is circle photon, because a particle of light is known as a photon. All right, now down here, light as a particle. So photons stream out of the light source, and they can be thought of as a quantum or a individual particle of light. That's what a photon is. Now, the thing here is we can be streaming these at this same wall with the two holes in it, the two slits. We can even do this one particle at a time. And what happens is if you send one particle through, right, it'll show up maybe right here. You send another particle through and it might show up as it comes through, like right here. So what you'd think you would get is you would just get two, like if you turn this over and you see our screen right here, you'd think it would be just two stripes that match the two slits here of where those particles ended up. So even though it's being shot through one at a time and it's a particle, after you do this a whole bunch, you see the same pattern that we saw in the previous experiment. Even though we've only shot the light through one particle at a time. So shooting it through one particle at a time, where were they interfering with each other? How was there increase in some parts where they were interacting? That is the unusual nature of quantum mechanics. And then we get a final little one out here. And one of the ways that Einstein actually proved this idea of light as a particle was through a famous experiment that he did called the photoelectric effect. So circle the photoelectric effect. And that was one way that he helped to describe light as a particle. This is just an intro to this topic. There's lots of really good videos online that show animations of this. I highly recommend you go look at it. All right, thank you very much.